actually 98. So, and
it's pretty good.
That's really good for first time.
Yeah. Well, one birdie and 2 pars, and then everything else was pretty much bogey. This week though was fucking awful. I don't even know. Like at a certain point.
While you're doing it?
Yeah. That's I like to say that I got the birdie because I had a beer at that point. So without the beer, I probably would have hit triple bogeyed for sure.
I was thinking about today, like playing pool. Like pool is tough when you go in there sober. Yeah. But it gets a little harder when you're drunk. But then it gets a little easier when you're hammered.
You got to go through those stages.
Yeah, there's something about it. That there's such a fine line, and golf is the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
anyway.
For me, the first hole, like the first tee off, when you're like everybody's there watching you,
fucking hate that.
That determines everything. If my first shot off the first tee is good, I'm gonna have a good round. But if it's shit,
it's good to just get out, though, isn't it, man? No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's fucking not.
I hate myself because I can't. I've been playing this game for 25 years and I can't figure it out. Oh man, it's still fun though.
Nah.
You know?
No, not a chance in hell, man.
Yeah.
I 16th hole, I went to drive the ball and it just complete shit. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go fuck myself for the rest of the fucking day.
I'll see you guys back in the shack.
Yeah.
It's like when you got your driver in your hand and you top the ball and it goes like 3 feet.
3 feet, yeah.
It's like, okay.
And the worst reaction from your buddies is dead silence.
Yeah.
You know? When you just throw a muffin out there and they just don't, no one says anything, like at least make fun of me, you know what I mean? Like that's how embarrassing it is.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when your friends don't say a word, man. But you know it's inevitable. By like hole 17 or 18, you do really well. So the game brings you back. The game brings you back. You can have 17 shitty holes.
True,
a great 18th hole. You're like, I can't wait to come back.
It's funny. I think we might have talked about this. Can you imagine the discipline and the mental fortitude you'd have to be able to play that sport? Not just the skill or the talent or whatever, but the mental zone you'd have to be able to put yourself in to be able to play that at a professional level. Like, because like if those guys on a par 3 don't make it within 10 feet, that's like Jordan, you and me saying you shank one into the woods. That's their version of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And to let that not carry over to the next round, like if I was in the PGA Tour, I'd just be like, oh, and you just think, oh, Morgan's having a tough time today, you know? And you just see me like in a cart, not walking, cracking a beer and just sculling, you know, like, oh, he's really going downhill. Yeah.
Just friggin' launch your putter into the friggin' lake.
18th hole too. I drove it. It was fucking perfect, nice and straight. I'm like, of course, at the last hole of the day, man. And it's beautiful fucking drive. And now I gotta go home and.
I'd rather have the first shot of the day than the last shot of the day. The first drive of the day, I'd rather have that one go straight. Like it determines your mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and people are watching too. Like that's when the pressure's on, man. Because you got at least the foursome behind you, at least them watching. If there's like a big like veranda, like you got like a bunch
have you guys ever got a hole in one?
No. Okay, so my birdie fucking touched the pole and the flag and almost went in the hole. And I told my friend, if I got a hole in one on that, I was taking my ball and my club.
Stories right now, hey?
Never fucking golfing again.
Walking off.
No, it's true. Yeah, I've had a few of those too. But they're like 2 feet away.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, we should start the podcast.
Best round I ever had. When all the stars aligned, every shot was perfect. I got an 82, a legit 82. The best round I ever had. Haven't come close since.
I shot 45 once on 9 holes at the Canadian, and that was all legit.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It made me feel really good. Yeah.
All right.
But I've also shot a 250 on a 9 hole.
Yeah.
Don't let that.
Yeah. But you know what? It all evens out, man. It all evens out.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are ready to go?
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Let us play the intro. Hey, and welcome everybody to the Six Nuts Podcast. As the intro says, we are 3 comedians, 6 nuts, just some guys having some fun. Episode 56. Gentlemen, I'm joined as always by Jordan Angus to my right, and Paul Bourgon down below me. Gentlemen, welcome to episode 56.
Thank you for having us.
It's always great to have you guys. We are doing a lot of fun stuff today. We're going to be doing Would You Rather a little bit later on. We're going to be doing Hold My Beer. And if you guys are up for it, I have a question, a comedic question that I'll present to you guys. And we'll get your inputs on that since we are comedians. So with that said, I want to, of course, encourage everybody, look down below Paul's chin, man. Look right down below Paul's chin.
Yeah.
It will tell you to like,
right next to your feet. Get it?
Exactly. Right next to my feet are dangling right beside. You can't see them, but they're dangling. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow us on social media. We're up to 102 subscribers. We would love that to get up to 110, 120, and eventually, how far can we take this thing?
Dare we say 121? Yeah.
121. Let's shoot for 121 by the end of the year, man, or by the end of whenever.
Yeah.
End of 10 years.
End of 10.
It's funny. I actually would prefer it if we had no subscribers whatsoever, so we could just let our freak flags fly, you know. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Not to say that I don't appreciate that people subscribe, but I know for sure a few of those subscribers are people that I've been like, yeah, man, you just go on YouTube, and then you click that. No, that, that. Okay, then you go and then you click like. It's cool, man. Yeah, I'm subscribed now. Like they're doing it to appease me, you know. Like
sweet.
Like I can't get my buddies to. I couldn't get my buddies to spit in my mouth. My tongue's on fire. So.
All right, so let's say we're 5 years down the road and we're like on episode 497. How many subscribers do you think we're at? 497.
Who knows?
Are we still at 102?
I think that's solid 97 subscribers.
97, so we're gonna drop 5. That's awesome, man. We're gonna lose.
I'm still like offended about the fact that we drove that one person unsubscribed. Whoever they were. Yeah.
They may have resubscribed though, because we went to 99 and then right back to 100. So that person may have just dropped off and came back on.
Whoever that person is.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, we were gonna get to Hold My Beer. Do you guys want to talk about anything before we get to Hold My Beer, or should we just get right to it, man?
Just get to it.
Let's get right to it. Segment we love called Hold My Beer.
You're watching Nutz Podcast, and this is how I hold my beer.
Ah, yes, good old Aiden holding his beer right above his genitalia. Beautiful. All right, that's a beautiful thing. This is a segment called Hold My Beer. We go around the virtual room, introduce our beverage of choice for this episode, and Jordan is looking to continue his streak of never having the same beverage in back-to-back episodes. So he's got a 55 game.
Pretty good. That really is a good
streak going. So well done, man. So Jordan, let's kick it off with you, man. Does the streak continue?
Yeah, absolutely it does. This will be like drink number 5 for the day. I had a couple triple bogey beers and coolers.
Yes, sir.
I looked in the fridge. I was like, oh, what do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna steal one of Monica's White Claws, but the raspberry. I haven't had this one yet. It's the raspberry, and I haven't had this one today yet. So
White Claw raspberry.
How are the cart girls looking?
No comment.
Smart man. What
that means Monica's close by. Monica's close by.
Yeah. He watches these episodes. No comment. I will say
just when I said that, my cat started walking out of the room. Like, you talking about another girl?
Great set of coolers on her though.
Yes, of course.
That's good. Yeah.
For the record, Jordan, you've had White Claw watermelon.
Yep.
And White Claw tangerine. Episode
That's right.
46.
Yep.
Yeah, can I get 2 beers, please? A bag of chips, a ham sandwich, and a beluga.
All right. Can we get a rating, man? A rating.
You know what? This one was better than the watermelon. I'll give it a 6.99.
Of course, 6.99. How apropos.
Yep.
Cart girls.
What cart girls? They were dudes in Speedos.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Jordan. White Claw Raspberry. Paul, let's go down to you. Was the show, here's a question. Was the show delayed so you can go out and get a beer?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I had messaged you guys and to see if we're still recording at 4.
Yep.
And then picked up the wrong phone. I have 2 phones. So like, I have a phone on the side, and I just picked up the wrong phone and went into the, to take a shower and stuff like that, just getting kept ready. And I was like, what's taking so long? And I clicked on the thing. I was like, oh shit, wrong phone. So probably actually more embarrassing than not having a beer ready. So I picked up Recorderling Premium Swedish Cider. And as soon as the words just came out of my mouth, I was like, ooh, cider. So it's going to be a battle with heartburn tonight.
Sounds delicious, though.
Yeah. It's like I mentioned before, the marketing on the cans is like 99% of the importance, right? And,
yes.
It's just colors can attract you, like when you see a purple soda, you're like, I want that, like when your cart girl rolls up with the nice coolers, Anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I've had this before. It's actually not that bad, but I never read it that it was a cider.
Rating
7.11.
7.11.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Very precise. Very nice rating.
Actually 7.00 because that's what the alcohol level is.
All right, even better. Matches the alcohol level. Well done. That's a great rating.
We make us a ciders, and then in the summertime we we go to this swimming. We do the skiing in the winter, and we have ice cream sandwiches.
There we go, man. What is that? Is that Austrian?
That's my Swedish.
German? Swedish sounds Austrian. There you go. All right, thank you, Paul. I will finish off this segment with a Perth Brewery Calypso. Perth Brewery Calypso. Just because the can is friggin' beautiful. I love it. Beautiful looking can. It is an IPA, so we'll see what it's like.
Ew.
Do any of you guys want to come over and have a couple of drinks? That's better, eh? That's better. Yeah.
Man.
I've got cold beers on ice.
I love everything on the ass.
I've got cold beers on ass. Does anyone need ass for their drink?
Speaking of ass, yeah, this beer is ass.
Yeah, it's IPA.
Yeah, I know. But I love the can. I'm going to rate it the same as the alcohol level, 4.8. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad for an IPA.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that brings a close, and Jordan keeps the streak going, and Paul with his best Austrian accent.
Swedish.
Swedish, hold my beer. We haven't met, or we haven't done this for a couple of weeks. And since then, Jordan, you have taken up golfing. So how is golfing going so far? You're brand new to the sport, right?
Brand new to the sport. I've never golfed.
And you shot at 89, you said?
98 on the first one.
Sorry.
Yeah,
first round 98. That's really
first round
impressive.
98. I had a birdie on the front 9 and 2 pars, and I have to say I knew instantly after that game I was never gonna have a game like that ever again. I was like, it's all downhill from here.
You played golf before though, right? Or are you new to the sport for like?
I've only been to the driving range and mini putt, so I don't feel like that counts. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now I have a little bit of an idea, but yeah, no, it's weird because I play baseball, I play softball, so my swing is very much a baseball swing almost.
Yeah,
and it's not helping me out.
Yeah, I found when I golfed and played baseball, the golf swing messes up your baseball swing big time.
Me, it's the other way.
Not for me. It was definitely I was striking out all the time because I was trying to
getting
under it.
To baseball. Yeah,
players would be
terrible.
Like hockey players who have that tie into I played hockey, so good at golf, but it's like it's still different, like it's
totally.
Yeah, you
very
have to be accurate with hitting something with a club face and the blade of a stick is still the same thing, but it's completely different movements. Like, can you imagine guys lining up for shots and then squaring off and holding their hockey stick like this? And then, like we used to do that when we were kids playing, like, we'd hit the orange ball like that, but
yes.
Yeah. Like, anyway.
No, because we started our softball season this week too. So I golfed Saturday, and then I was concerned the whole time that I knew I was going to golf. I'm like, I really don't want this to mess up my baseball and my softball swing.
Yeah.
So it was my first game of the season, and I was 4 for 5. I had 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So I'm like, didn't fuck up my baseball swing, but I can't. I'm having a really difficult time getting a proper golf swing down because I keep holding it like it's a baseball bat, and I have a hard time keeping my feet planted. I want to like lift my lead leg as if I'm going into a baseball swing.
Yep.
So it's that,
or
especially
like you're at a long drive competition.
Yeah. And it's like it doesn't work, right? I should be hitting the ball straight, but the only thing I'll say is I'm really good with the 7-iron. Out of all my clubs, that's the only one that I know I can hit.
It's the most versatile one, right?
Yeah, 7's
as
the
they
best.
say.
Yeah.
It's funny you watch those clips on like Instagram when you're death scrolling and stuff, which I've been doing all day. Like first of all, the videos that are on Instagram now when you're death scrolling are so, I can't believe people are making videos and you look down and you see that they have 36,000 likes or whatever. It's like, like this is what I do when I want to dry off my clothes, and then it shows a guy drying his clothes and the guy's just going hum dum 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 dum, and then he shows and he's just, that's it, that's the video. It's a guy telling you that he's drying his clothes and then he's making the voice, which is interesting because I do that with sounds as well, but it just goes to show where your anagram, what is it called?
Algorithm
goes to. It's like, well, it makes sense now that I'm looking at people mimicking sounds of like stupid stuff like that. Anyway, when you're watching these videos of like, you watch one golf video, right? And next thing you know, you got all these golf videos that you're watching, right? And you watch guys like, stop swinging like this. This is how you got to swing, okay? This would not take care of 90% of your troubles, and it'll take guaranteed 5 swings off. All you have to do is this, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. That's all I have to do. Okay, and then you go out there, and it's just, man, there is nothing. No one says, hey, if you're not a good golfer, if you don't play 30 times a summer, at least you're not gonna shave so much as 1 stroke off of your handicap or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to play the game. You have to practice. You have to put in reps. You have to do muscle memory. Like, you know what I mean? I have a drumstick here, and I've been learning how to spin the drumstick. Like, I don't play the drums, but I have a drumstick, and I'm like, I want to learn how to spin the drumstick. And so I've been like sitting here watching TV, and I'm just like twirling the drumstick, trying to get good at it, because I know people who are drummers, and the time may come where I go over to someone's house with these drumsticks, and I'm like, oh, cool, pick him up, and I want to be better than him at something that he's good at, So it's funny. Anyway, like, you can't be good at that game. Like, if you shot a 98 on your like first time of this,
that's impressive, man.
And that was it, right? So everybody then has like a piece of advice, and then like my problem today, I want to say, I didn't like the golf course, and I'm overthinking everything I'm doing now, where I need to do what I did last week and listen to like one of my friends who said, just get comfortable with your swing, find like the 2-3 clubs that you're good with, and just continue to play with those. And that's it.
And drink 6 beers.
Yeah. And that's it. Drink the beers.
But I find it funny, like, if you're golfing with people and the guy's giving you advice, do this, do that, and they're shooting like 120.
Yeah,
dude,
no,
I'm not going to listen to you.
No,
I've been guilty of doing that before, and the guy who I was giving advice to mentioned to another one of my buddies, and he came with me. He's like, "Yo, you gotta stop giving like advice," and he's like, he just came up to me. He's like, "If Paul gives me one more fucking piece of advice, I'm gonna break the fucking club over his head." And I kind of realized, what am I doing giving anyone advice on something? Like, no one should ever take advice from me from anything. Like, I have no, unless it's watching movies. Like,
yeah. Well, If I'm golfing with a guy and he's shooting 72 or lower, then okay, I'll take your advice. But
Yeah.
you're shooting 120, buddy. Like, I'm not going to take your advice.
My buddy Ryan is an extremely good golfer, and he's like, because I'm trying to get good with my driver at least because it's important. And he said to me, he's like, dude, you got a 7-iron, you're hitting like what you're supposed to hit with it, 120 to 150 yards, and it's straight. And he goes, a par 5 has like 560 yards. He goes, if you hit 5 shots with the 7-iron, you should be close to the flag. He goes, who cares what everybody else is using? Use the 7-iron.
It's hard taking advice too. Like, it ties into comedy, right? Like, I was talking about this on the last podcast. Like, you may have done comedy for 25 years, but your body language and eye contact with me is making me think that you are so disinterested in this conversation. So how am I going to take advice from somebody like that? You could be the best golfer in the world, right? But if you pick your nose and eat it, okay, I'm not going to listen to a single thing you tell me. Like, I'm not going to. You could be giving me gold, right? And I'm not going to listen, because I'm not going to take it. I'll just be seeing like you pick your nose and eat while you're telling me like the dynamics of golf. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to be all around good in life to be able to give advice, I think. Yeah.
Yep. And here, on that subject, I was reading I went back and started reading an old comedy book that I got when I first started. And
was it Mein Kampf?
What's that?
Was it Mein Kampf? The book Hitler wrote?
No, it wasn't that. It was a different comedy book. I'm not going to say who wrote it or what the title of the book, but the book claimed, and this person was claiming, that they could make anybody become a comedian. So my question, I want to pick your brains, gentlemen. Can anyone become a comedian, I guess, is my question. Meaning you can take anybody, previous experience, funny, not funny, and you could take them through this, whatever course it is, and make them a comedian. Is it possible?
I don't think so.
That anybody can become a comedian? I want to hear your thoughts on this, gentlemen.
I don't think so.
Why or why not?
There's some people don't have the right personality for it. Some people, like, I'm rhyming off people I know in my head that I know in my life and that I've met and, or I'm associated myself with. Most of them are my exes, but seriously though, like, some people just don't have the right demeanor for it, or don't have the right courage, or they have their sense of humor is. You could go up on stage and speak into a microphone, but you to be a comedian, it's like to be a golfer, you have to be interested in golf. It's like, I was talking about this once about jiu-jitsu. Like, to excel at something that you can never perfect, you can never become perfect at. Like, I know I'll never be the perfect comedian. I know I won't. But the pursuit of perfection is what matters. And if you throttle down off that, you're like, okay, I got it. Oh, that's fine. You're not interested in it. If you golf today, Jordan, and you went home, you're like, I don't care. You're never really going to get better. You might play a better game, but that might be luck.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to have an interest in it. You have to.
Let me reframe that. Let's say the person is interested.
Yeah.
Let's say it's they've never watched comedy. Let's say the person is interested, but is not a naturally funny person. Can that person become a comedian?
Like, do you mean comedian as like start doing that on a regular basis, or just go up on stage once and do it?
I would say like you do it on an ongoing basis, like not once, because anybody can do it once.
I don't think so. You can't change someone's personality. You can't change someone's. Trust me. Like, you can't. Like, I've many people have tried with me, and I don't blame them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't change someone. You can't make them. You can open them up to it and you can show them what it's like. But like, I know guys that have done comedy and they've been like, Dave, you did a show with a buddy of mine, and he did it once, and he was like, yeah, I just want to do it and try it, and and then just to say that they did it, which is fine. It's very admirable. And fact, it's like encouraging for someone that's been doing it for a few years or more. You look at that and you're like, man, it's awesome to see that. It reminds me of me and seeing them nervous and stuff like that, because all those things come with it. But I just, to long story long, I think you have to alter their personality and their mindset on not just comedy but life to like dive into something, you know, like people do take on new interests and stuff like that as they get older. But I think with that, it's a very, very complex thing to undertake because of the fears that come with it, because of the time that comes with it, because of the mindset you have to have. Like when we make jokes and say, oh, I worked for 8 minutes this week, you know. And then a lot of people say to me, yeah, but like you still write, you know? And it's like, yeah, I do, you know. But in my head, when that gets mentioned, I appreciate that someone says that to me. But you spend time writing, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't. I mean, you guys can agree with me on this. I can't explain. I could not put words to the actual man hours where my thought process, where every day process, the way I think, things I think about, things I see, things I say when I'm talking to myself, or that I think, oh, that's funny. And I don't immediately go, I should do that on stage, but I think about where I could take that. Could I do a sketch show with that? Oh man, imagine this in a movie. Oh, that would be so funny if they did that in this movie. You know what I mean? You think of these funny scenarios and stuff that you want to show someone and put out there. It's the whole the consumption of time and effort that it goes into writing it down, and putting your thoughts on paper and and then going back and constructing it in a certain way to make it better, editing it, and like that shit takes. I wrote some stuff last night because I've just had this ongoing idea about, like, not a screenplay, but just it is an idea that I think would be cool in a movie. And when I think of things that would tie into it, I write them down, and I write characters and how they think, and what they say, and what they would say in that situation, hopefully to tie it all together. But I've been working on that for years, you know, not every day, but just aside from writing and thinking, it's just stuff like that. Like, it's just that idea. Anyway, I don't want to. We're almost done, folks. But you know what I mean, right? It's a hard thing to just be like, no, yes, without explaining that. And I think that's. I don't think you can.
Jordan, what do you think?
I think, like, I don't know what book it is, and I don't want to like really rip into whoever is, because I'm assuming this is a very famous comic or whatever. But I feel like that. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like that statement is like, you know, those network marketing companies that are like, you too can be rich and have a successful, you know, small business like me if you follow these steps. I just feel like you're selling false promises. Like, can anybody be a comedian? I mean, you can do open mics and stuff like that, but again, it's the commitment and what you want to do with it. So I don't think anybody could do it. I don't think everyone can do it. I really feel like if you're telling somebody that absolutely they can do it without seeing and trying to convince them, you're just feeding them false promises.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't think that's fair.
Maybe that's just the right person you could. Maybe the odd person you could pick that you could do that. But it's not like, not anyone. Not absolutely anyone. You couldn't.
No. Yeah. I feel like there's people who have, like, even in our community, that it's like, well, I think for a hobby, you're doing an okay job, but like, as long as you're finding what you need out of it, sure.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't tell somebody, yeah, you're gonna be a comedian. You can be a comedian. No.
Ask that question to Helen Keller's teachers and see, like, can you make anyone go? Their teacher's probably like, well, probably not anyone. You know? Not to make a joke about Helen Keller, but yes, there are some people out there that can't speak, you know, let alone tell a joke. So I did very much disagree that you could make anyone a comedian. I think you can specifically make people. Yeah, Jordan, you made a good point.
Yeah, it's false promises. So I don't agree with that statement. But what do I know? I didn't publish a book.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, I think anybody can learn the mechanics that it takes to tell jokes. Like, I mean, because there is a formula to it, right? A certain formula, set up, punchline. So I think anybody can learn how to do that. But on the other side, you know, Paul, you said a lot of it, and Jordan, you did too. Like, it takes commitment. It takes being able to handle rejection. You know, are you going to quit? After your first bomb? And I think some of it, Jordan, you nailed it, man. I think some of it is to sell books, right?
Yep.
Like, read this book. It'll make anybody a comedian if you follow my formula. And
who's the famous person?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Jerry Corley.
Who's that?
Jerry Corley. He calls himself the joke doctor. He's a comedian out of LA.
Yeah.
And he's got these online courses, and he really exploded during the pandemic because he offered these courses online. And his claim is that, you know what, anybody can learn how to become a comedian. Here's the formula. Here's the laugh triggers. You know, he lays it all out. Yeah, to a certain degree, he's right. I mean, anybody can learn it, but
just because you call yourself the joke doctor, you know, like I call myself the lady killer, but you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, it's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. I mean, because you know, some people to a certain degree, if they learn the formula, they can go up on stage and they can be funny.
Yes.
You know, they can be funny.
But I don't know, like, and I would never tell somebody not to do it. I'm very much encouragement. Like when somebody says, "Oh, I'm funny too," I will be the first one to say, "Oh man, try it. Get on stage, try it. You need some stage time. I'll find you some. Give it a shot."
Yeah.
I'm never gonna tell somebody not to do it.
No,
but I don't agree with the statement that anybody can do it. I think, like I already said, I think you're feeding false promises, and you're just trying to sell books, man. I'm not saying you're not funny, but you can't. Yeah, it's like saying to me, anybody can be a good golfer. Anybody can break 80.
Yeah.
I'm never.
Yeah. It's not like that's stupid saying that. You know, that encouragement to women, like women can do anything, you know, look, no, you can't. Men can do anything.
We're going to go down this road. Man.
We all, men and women, we can't do anything. There are things that only women can do. There are things that only men can do. Okay. Stop telling your daughters and sons they can do anything, you know, but like they can get good at it if they dedicate themselves to it. They can really make a realization that here's something that you didn't know how to do, and now you do know how to do it if you practice, if you dedicate yourself to it. But like you're not gonna go to the pros. You know, I'm not gonna be a professional pool player in my life. I'm not gonna be you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be in the Super Bowl, you know?
Like I'm sorry, Dave. Like I got like my Crazy Horse show that I produce. I hold that to a certain higher standard, right? So if somebody came up to me and was like, "I've never done stand-up comedy before, but I've read this book, so I know what I'm doing now," I would laugh at them. I'd be like, "Cool, good for you. Get out of my get out of my face."
It's the exact same thing as me watching a golf video. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's all I gotta do now. Cool." Yeah. You know? My buddy made a joke. My buddy Craig we were watching Jeopardy once. We like to watch Jeopardy and you know, Battle of the Minds kind of thing. He's incredible at it. It's like how many times I turn and go, how did you know that? You know, and it still amazes me. But we both Alex. This is when Alex Trebek asked a question, and none of the contestants get it, and we didn't know it. And then Alex is like, the answer is barium, or whatever it was. And my buddy Craig turns and he goes, "Oh, okay, now I know that forever." You know. And then like a month later, we're watching a repeat of it, and or whatever the question comes up again, we have no idea what it is. You know, now I know that forever. Cool. No, you don't. It's a very simple, small example of how hard it takes to even memory, man. You have to be like that when you see something like that. Like I remember a long time ago, I bought this this magazine, this scientific magazine, because it was high school. I was doing like a project on Albert Einstein, and I wrote Alfred Einstein on it, and the teacher like circled it and put a question mark, and I was like, it's funny though, right? Anyway,
yeah, it's kind
I
of
bought a magazine about it, and I started to try to learn about some things so I could write about it. Right now, this is high school, right? I'm not doing my PhD on it, but I remember in high school, and this is a small example of how your memory works. I remember they were talking about photons. Okay, what photons are, and they're talking about light speed, and they're talking about the speed of light and how light can travel this distance at this time, and like 186,800 miles per second or whatever. And they're talking about how photons are the sort of match that speed. And I'm like, what is a photon? And it had in bold letters under it, a photon is a particle of electromagnetic energy. That's what a photon is. I remember reading that and kind of like. I was like I had like a Vietnam flashback. I kind of like was like a particle of electromagnetic, and I always remember that. I just it stuck with me. So I can answer the Jeopardy question if it's this is a particle of electromagnetic energy. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to have that train of thought. You have to that has to be the way your mind works. It's like see things and catch that interest. Like not everybody's interested in seeing a squirrel run fast along a telephone wire and then turn around and run the other way back because another one's chasing it. It's like, wow, how do they do? How are they so agile? Like people like don't even see that when they look up. Sometimes they don't even notice that that's there. But
it's amazing, that they could do that. I can't even walk in a straight line when a cop pulls me over. Like,
exactly.
I love how they when a squirrel sees you, like you're walking up to it at a park, or whatever. I love how squirrels like will run to a tree and then they'll always run behind the tree. Like I'm like, oldest trick in the book, but I know it works. It's like when you were playing tag with your buddies and you run to a car and you like you know what I mean. So you couldn't tag it, and the guy just like, you're cheating. You know what I mean. Like, you have that barrier. So squirrels do the same thing.
Yeah. By the way, little red squirrels are pricks, man. Because my parents have squirrels in the backyard, and they got black ones.
I have 3 in my garage right now. They
a red one.
They ate through the wall the back behind my garage. Every time I open my garage, 3 of them go. They go nuts.
Like red ones or black?
They go nuts.
Red ones are nasty, man.
They're black. Yeah, they're black. Yeah.
Okay, the black ones are not bad.
Yeah.
Red ones are nasty. They're just nasty, man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
All right, where are we going?
How do we get on this topic?
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, comedy. Yeah.
Are you a comedian? Can anybody be? I think those he should change that claim to anybody can write a joke. But is it a funny joke? Maybe, probably not.
Hey, trust me, I try all the time. I wrote a couple bangers the other day, and I tried one, and it was the most oh my god, like this could really get me in trouble joke.
I did that.
Do you guys want to
I did that last night. You tell yours, I'll tell mine. I did mine on stage last night, and I got
I told my mom this, and I said it at Eddie's. I went to Eddie's on Wednesday, and I showed up at 8 because it's in my mind that show started at 8.
Yeah, that one starts early.
I went to just support. Like I went to just to
cool.
Because it means something to Jake to do that, right? And anyway, he came up to me right away, and when I walked in there, he's like, he whispered, he's like, "Did you want to go up and do a couple minutes?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, sure." That's cool. I'll just do a couple minutes. Anyway, like I got called up like next, and it was so quick that I didn't have time, so I just did this one joke. So it's about like you guys know in Japan how they have the gang, the Yakuza?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Oh fuck me.
It's like their version of the mafia.
It's like the mafia. They're like they're the criminal underworld. They're the ones that like control all the like drug movements and crimes.
Okay.
That they're so they're having like an issue with oh fuck. This is another joke I told. I'll tell you guys the really bad one, okay? All right. can't believe I'm saying this online. When did being a chef become, when did becoming a chef mean you were the leader of a Nazi regime? Like, when did becoming a chef mean yes chef, no chef? You know, are chefs so highly feared and respected that you cook food, man? You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying though? You watch cooking shows now, and Gordon Ramsay can yell at these people, and you know, it's like it honestly reminds me of a Nazi regime. You know, and it's like, what is it about ovens that really make people fall in line?
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Like, is that punching down? I'm like, I know that would offend people, but it's also funny though. It's a funny, you know. And it's like, man, no one laughed except two people, like two random strangers, burst out laughing. That's usually how like jokes go. Anyway, there's an older couple there at Eddie's at the time. That's I'm like, has anybody in here not seen me perform before? And this couple right by the glass clapped, and I kind of was like, okay, well, all right, I'll tell it anyway, you know, because that's what these nights are for, right? For us to practice. I told it, and I didn't hear a peep out of them. And just one guy really laughed really hard at it. Like, he almost spit his water out. I was like, that's yes. But anyway, I walked up to him after. I'm like, guys, I know that was the only thing you've heard me say, and I know it could have sounded really offensive, so I apologize if it was too offside for you. And they're like, oh no, that was cool. Like, we're here to laugh, you know, it was fine. They're okay with it, but like, what are they going to say to me? You know, like, my grandmother was in the, you know.
yeah, exactly.
It would have made me feel like absolute crap, but like, anyway.
Yeah.
So,
funny.
Yeah.
I had, so Bavin actually, with my boss's wife, they both asked me if there was jokes that I don't do or say because of who I'm with. And I'm like, oh, 100%. And they're like, okay, tell us one. And I did. And they're like, you have to say that on stage. So last night I had a show with the LOL guys, and I'm the first comic after the intermission. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I got up on stage, and everybody's still kind of like rowdy and like, you know, and I felt that they liked me right away, but a few people are not paying attention. So I'm like, fuck it. And I'm like, I need to just test you guys. I need to put the foot in the water before I jump in the pool. Okay. So I'm like, here we go. I'm like, I just learned that things that can repel fire are called fire retardant. I'm like, what do I call firefighters on with Down syndrome? And everybody's just like, yeah.
see, it's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a word you can't say or a topic you can't discuss, but you can. But did you say that right off the bat?
Right, that was my first joke.
Yeah, okay,
that was
good. We
both
did the same thing. If you would have been up there for 5 minutes or 6 minutes and then said it, you would have been able to gauge it differently. Like, it's like, know your crowd, or let them know you at least, you know?
Yeah. No, I went in there and I just like, I want to see where you guys are. I said it. I got the oohs and ahs with a lot of laughter. I'm like, okay, cool, you guys are cool. And then I went on with my regular my shit. That was a fun crowd, but
hey,
it's Cornwall, right? It's Cornwall.
Louis C.K., perfect example. Like that was Sesame Street. What I said, what you and I just said, Jordan.
Oh,
compared to what he said when I saw him, and he had people melting in laughter in their seats, and I was like, at one point I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that, just the in detail way he's tagging his jokes. It's like, yeah, but yeah, you really gotta let the crowd know who you are. Not just go up and tell one Holocaust joke and then get off. You know,
I think that also makes you guys stand out. Like,
100%.
Everybody else would be like, other comedians would be afraid to tell that joke, but you guys went there, and that's gonna make an impression, big time,
right off the bat,
big time.
We all believe this. We all you can pretty much say anything you want. It's been proven, you know, but you have to say it the right way. And I'm a firm believer in it. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like if you had a couple beers, Jordan, okay? All right, Dave, both of you. If you guys had like two glasses of wine at a show and got into a car accident on your way home and killed two people. Okay, and you know, one of them was a was a 7-year-old girl, and the other one, God forbid this never happens, right? But like, and then the media attacked you, and you put your picture on. They found the most scandalous picture of you holding a drink, you know, like they paint you as an absolute piece
monster,
of shit,
man.
you know, like a reprobate, but you're not, because I know you. But it'd be hard. It's hard to distinguish that when you don't know the person. It's hard to look at them that in a way where, like, you know, are they really, you know, like absolute demon human beings? Are they really just, you know, out to hurt and kill? Are they, you know, like, I mean, you can't say that about everybody. Like the guy who killed all those people in Las Vegas, that shooter, you know what I mean? You got to be a pretty sick person to do that, you know, and it would be very, very difficult. But like, can you imagine how Jeffrey Dahmer's parents felt? You know, like, can you imagine how you know how they felt? Like that was so bad that they tore down the building that he lived in because it was getting so much traffic. I know people who've gone down to Milwaukee or whatever, wherever it was. What he did was so deplorable. It was so evil and so bad. Like, we're talking the worst serial killer of all time. Like, it was so confusingly evil that, like, his parents have, like, changed their names and moved, you know, to a different state or whatever. And they've gone into like what's it called, relocation, when police
witness
WhatsApp, you know, like they've willingly done that to out of shame, you know. And I doubt that those two are, if they're still alive, are like, you know, crank up the song, I love it, like dancing and, you know, having fun. Like they probably sit there, you know, like, and like it's
they're not like, hey, my son's the most famous serial killer of all time.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
No, they're definitely not.
You'd be able to understand it more. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is it's when you know the person and you know their character, when you get up on stage, you got to get them to know your character. You got to care about that. You know what I mean? It's one of the things that ties into that question you asked. You have to be thinking along those lines of, I have an urge for people to like me. I have an urge to tell this joke about ovens. So how do I do the two at the same time? How do I go from either getting them to all hate me and think I'm evil, but you know what I mean? I want them to like me, but I want to tell them things that I think are funny, but I think are funny, but not because I'm evil. Because like, if you knew me, you'd think it was funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like that goes into being a comedian.
Yeah. I got extremely like I like to pride myself on my stage presence anyways. Like I think a lot of the reason why a lot of my stuff hits is just my demeanor on stage. My stage presence kind of draws people in. And it was like I was looking at the crowd. I'm like, hey, normally this is the type of crowd that I would do well with outside of Ottawa, not Cornwall, because it's Cornwall, but outside of Ottawa they would eat me up. And I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna like me here. And I really wanted to try that one right off the bat. And as soon as I stepped on the stage, I don't know what it was. I just felt that they were like, we don't know him, but we like him. And he hasn't even talked yet.
Sometimes you're throwing a dart and it works, you know. Like, Dave, you've done it. You know, Jordan, you just did it. I've done it. But I generally to try to teeter the line with it. It's like that Blacks joke, you know. Dave, you're always like, tell it. You got to tell it. Because you know me. You know, it's like all my buddies are like, man, you gotta tell that joke. You gotta tell it. You have to tell it. Like my buddy Matt was like, wouldn't come to my show unless I did a tranny joke. I'm like, I don't want to do a tranny joke. I don't want to talk about that. He's like, you have to, man. You gotta do it. I'm not going unless you do it. And so I like came up with one. Remember, I did this. You guys were both there. I came up with a joke about him comparing, and it was you know what I mean. I thought it was a genius way to appease him. You know, but, it was so funny because when you did that, when you were starting to do it the first time, I was standing beside Zachariah. Like the first time I saw you do it, Zach had already seen you, and as you're doing it, I'm like, "Oh fuck no!" And Zach's like, "No, it's okay. It's not going where you think it is." I'm like, okay, because I think I did try it out at Meow. And that's good. That's good that he said it. It's not going where you think it is, but like.
But it was funny, and he said
everyone
that
in the
too.
crowd who doesn't know me, even you, Jordan, know me. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he's not going to do this.
Yeah.
He's going to get canceled right
But
now. Like at cultures, like
Yeah, that was it, right? And I knew your friend was there and wanted it, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
like how?
yeah.
And then as I was fucking hilarious, and you went totally a different direction, which thank goodness.
And you know what? It got a surprisingly, because I was worried about even doing that. You know,
Yep.
It got a surprising because I'm not comfortable doing that. It's like I'm not comfortable making that chef joke, but like it's kind of a funny
So funny. It's really funny. I don't care.
joke,
Yeah.
you know. Like,
funny.
but it's like the point I'm making is it's funny how your close friends are always telling you to do the most scandalous jokes, eh?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, no, you don't understand what it's like up there. People looking at you that you don't know, and you're like, what's up with the Jews? You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But Bavin and my boss's wife were like, you have to do that joke. Like, Monica's not gonna be at that show. You have to do that joke. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'll get fucking canceled. I'll never be allowed to perform in Cornwall again. I almost got punched in the face at Cornwall. This is definitely gonna get me punched in the face.
And for it to not be able to go down in Cornwall, it's probably it's probably a thinker.
And that's it. Like, one of my jokes, I had a person yell at me that I was racist and like tried to charge the stage. Like, so I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna understand where I'm coming from. I don't want to take a punch if I don't have to. It's gonna just be bad. But I was glad that one.
Dave, you'll like this, even though you don't know the Yakuza is. Well, you get an idea. They're the criminal underworld, right? Anyway, in Japan, the Yakuza's like starting to worry. Like they think that in like 10 years time they won't be around anymore because their initiation rituals to get new members, it's so ritualistic and it's so it's based on a hierarchical system. So it's like so difficult to become a member of the Yakuza, right? It's so tightly packed. So they're worried about not getting new members, right? And I was like, why don't they try ads?
Yeah.
If they're worried about getting their name out, why don't they just try ads?
Put it up on Craigslist, man.
Yeah. But try ads, you know?
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Anyway.
That's good. All right. We got to move on, gentlemen, to a segment we haven't done in a while. It is called Would You Rather? All right, gentlemen, would you rather? Yes, sir. I've got 3 questions. We're going to go around the virtual room and each give our answer on would you rather. So let's start with Paul on this one. The question will pop up at the bottom. Paul, would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak every language?
We're
going to go around the room. So talk to animals.
Jeez, it's a good one.
Talk to animals or speak every language.
I already talk to every animal I see. Like, I talk like some comedian made it. This is a black guy who made it too, which is made it funny. He's like, "What's up with every white person when they see like a wild animal? They talk to it like it's their cat. Like, oh hey buddy, like they see a grizzly bear. Like, oh hey buddy, what are you doing? You know?" And I find I do that instinctively. I'm like, "Oh hello." When I see a rabbit, like I could see that thing. You know. But like a raccoon the other day, I was walking into Absolute Comedy, and 2 raccoons. You know the Prescott, Beach Street, where the parking lot is, the big parking lot, and you're walking on the parking lot across from the Prescott. You're walking and there's cars parked, and there's that point just before you get to the intersection of Beach and Preston, where it's like there's like a fence and then there's like a house or whatever. Yep. And it was dark, and as I'm walking, I kid you not, 2 raccoons ran from I guess they're in between to one of the parked cars. One of them ran between my legs as I was stepping, and I tripped. And it's 2 animals you see in the corner of your eye. You're like, what the hell? Great, man. And there's a tree like right here, and these 2 raccoons run up the tree, and one of them just stops. I have a picture of it on my phone.
That's awesome.
2 feet from me, and I was like, well, hello. And you know how raccoons are. They're just like,
Yeah, they're like,
What
right back up the
exactly.
tree.
And then they just like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I've stopped there looking at him, and there's a point where I'm like looking at a raccoon. And I'm like, should I be doing this right now? Like, this thing jumps at me and bites me. Like, I'm gonna be a zombie in there. Like, anybody hear about chefs? You know, like up on stage. But it ran right between my legs. I do that when I see animals. Oh, hey, buddy.
That's wild, man. So talk to animals.
But I think I'd rather be able to speak every language, because it'd be really cool to be able to converse with the world, and that's, I mean, that's a good way to get. You see people's faces when you can speak their language. Like, you know, we've all seen the videos of that guy that goes to like downtown like Beijing, and he's like a white guy, and like no one's paying attention to him. He's like, wow, you know.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, they're like amazed by it.
The camera's like their reaction, and they're like, you speak so good. Like, where did you learn to speak so well? And the guy speaks like fluent, you know. And it's like you really capture people's attention. People who you ask them someone a question, they don't give a shit. They're just like, it's over there, you know. And then you say something to them. You perform. You speak in a way that captures their attention. It's the same as being on stage. You know what I mean? It's when you can speak someone's language, you know, like, So, what time are we at now? Someone else's language. Yeah.
All right. Speak every language. Okay, Jordan.
I would rather be able to talk to animals. I know 2 languages. I'm trying a third. And I gotta say, like, people just suck. Like, so I would like to be able to talk to animals. Maybe be like the actual Dr. Dolittle. And just be like, no, that goat, it doesn't like you at all. He's trying to fuck you. Like, that's, you're reading too much into it.
I want to eat you. I want to eat you. I wonder what he tastes like.
Yeah. Like, someone's like, oh, it's so cute, and you know, you don't want to know what he's saying about you. He really does.
Like, you're not gonna see a bear that has Dennis Leary's voice. You know?
No.
No. What would they sound like? What would their voice be like? You know, like.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool to talk to animals. I really believe they don't speak the same way we think they do. It's body language for them, right? So I would like to be able to understand what it is that they're trying to say.
It's fascinating to think about it.
Yeah. And every animal has like a different kind of, I wouldn't say personality, but the way they think is a lot different too, right? So like, what the fuck? What is a crow like thinking when he's digging at my garbage? Is he gonna try to fuck me up, or
exactly?
You know, like, should I be afraid of him, or should I just be like, no, like, I'm not gonna say shit. Do what you got to do. You know,
yes, you should be afraid of a crow. Like,
I 100%.
It is fascinating to think about, like, dolphins and whales, how their scientists are seeing how they.
Did you know? Yeah. I hate bringing it up because people are like, oh, I love dolphins, but dolphins are fucked.
Yeah, dolphins are ravenous.
Yeah, like they'll hang out 2 dudes, and like they'll have like a fin man, and they'll like trap a female dolphin, and like
raptors.
Yeah, they'll rape the female dolphin while their friend helps them.
Yeah,
it's
male dolphins will, because female dolphins spend the first like 8 years or something, or 6, 7, 8 years with their young. They right by them for 6, 7 years, and male dolphins, to get to that woman, will kill the young, so that it leaves her like, all right, well, I don't have to look after that kid anymore. You know, like, you want the blowhole or you want the other one? You know,
like, what's the porpoise? You know, what is the porpoise? Sorry,
the common porpoise, or Tricia truncatus, has an elongated beak, round cone-shaped teeth, and a serrated dorsal appendage.
Yeah,
they can talk to other dolphins, and they can also talk to whales. I just saw this the other day.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, like anyway, whatever. Yeah,
that's wild.
Dave, what about you?
100% speak with animals, man. For this, number one, first thing is, I'd love to know what my dog is thinking. I would love to know. Okay,
shit.
Exactly. I'd love to know. Hey, Cece, what are you thinking today? Or, you know, you're staring at me for 15 consecutive minutes. Like, what is it you need? So I think communication that way would be cool, but it would be so cool to go out into the jungle and just see like an orangutan sitting there and going,
yeah, man.
What are you thinking of right now?
Yeah,
he's thinking
in your head.
There's another animal that
it'd just be so fascinating, man. Or like Jordan said, like, there's a rabbit that like's been shitting all over my lawn. Like, I want to go up to the rabbit and talk to him. Why are you doing this, man?
Man, do you have any carrots? Like, do you have any fucking carrots?
Yeah, you can make a deal with the rabbit. Like, I'll give you carrots. You go shit on Jim's lawn.
Exactly. And think
or the rabbit's just like, hey man, you got any carrots? You know, like,
think of how much we could learn.
Yeah.
Think of how much we could learn, man. You know,
Yeah.
we study animals and we figure things out.
To ants, you know, hey,
it would be fascinating. We could learn so much from the ants, man. They are just so fucking smart.
We sound like we're fucking high. We sound like we're high.
I googled how many ants are on Earth, and there's an estimated 30 trillion ants. I was like Mitch Hedberg joking. I'm like, really? That even?
You know what?
That's estimated at just 30 million? Like, just holy
think
shit,
about this,
bang
man.
On. Yeah.
You could also become very evil, and you could like form an alliance
Half of them
with the
were
ants.
in my house last winter, so
you could form an alliance with the ants, and you could talk about, hey, let's take over the world, you know, and you could kind of talk.
You want to talk to animals for beneficial purposes, yeah. Like if you want to take for the takeover of the world.
I would bring a murder of crows to every single open mic and tell every comic, you better laugh because they're not going to cooperate with me if you don't laugh.
Oh man, there's just the potential is untapped, man. All right, we got to move on. Let's get to question 2. Jordan, we're going to start with you on this one.
I'd go. Hold on. I would. The first group of animals that I would definitely go talk to would be hyenas because they laugh.
Exactly. Jordan, would you rather pee yourself every time you laughed, or snort out boogers every time you laughed?
I'm gonna say from Paul's stories on people finding it entertaining if you pee yourself, I think I'm gonna pee myself every time I laugh. I don't think boogers are attractive, and I don't think people find that funny. But if I'm pissing myself, if I'm laughing, now they're gonna laugh too.
You're eventually gonna run out of piss.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
Yeah.
You really gotta prep yourself for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my field research on this podcast with us, and Paul, people find it funny if you pee yourself, right? So there you go. I'm gonna do that. I'd rather pee myself every time I laugh.
I would say I would be one of the leading people in the world. One of the leading, like you know how like
authorities. You'd be an authority on the subject.
Yeah, I'm an authority. I'm like you know how like
you're an expert.
Or an expert on peeing your pants to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have done that in the world. It's such a good question, man.
All right, Paul. What about? Did you answer, Paul?
No, but I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Yes, I do. But just for the record, I'll let you answer.
I would definitely pick peeing myself. Like, no, you don't want like. One's gross, one's funny. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I'm going to say pee because you can also, to a degree, you can hide that. You cannot hide snorting out boogers every time you laugh.
What a silly, immature question, Dave.
I think it depends if you can hide it.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry, Jordan.
I said I think it depends if you can.
You're wearing a mask.
It depends. Okay. Good one, man. Good one. All right, let's get to the third questions. I will start with answering this one. Would you rather go shopping in your underwear or to the beach nude? For me, it's an easy one. Nobody wants to see me nude, so I will go shopping in my underwear. Paul, what about you?
I'd pick nude at the beach. Because you're just like it's kind of accepted at the beach. It's the only place. Excuse me. It's the only place in the world I think it's acceptable to walk around naked. Like, you know, like if you're walking around naked as you're walking to the beach, it's like that'll turn heads. But if you're naked at the beach, if you're in Mooney's Bay naked, people will just be like, look.
Yeah,
I know, eh? Yeah. And you know, like if you're doing that, like you know what I mean. If you're going into pizza like that, like. Do you guys have any fresh pepperonis? You know?
Yes,
yeah, I got. Sounds like
salami.
You got one, right? Yeah.
Oh shit, that's funny. All right, Jordan.
I don't know if you guys actually even need to ask me this one.
You're talking to an old stripper.
Yeah, I'm walking nude on the beach. I'm cool. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Underwear. Why? What's the point? I'm just gonna take it off. So maybe make a couple bucks.
There you go. A financial opportunity. So well done. Well done. All right. So that is the end of a segment we call Would You Rather. All right, from one video to another, let's get to final thoughts. Yeah. Oh, look at that. We got the drumsticks and we got the kitty cat.
Finally, I've been able to time that perfectly.
I love it, man. All right, welcome. This is
I should have been doing this.
Yes, sir, man. I love it, man. I love the enthusiasm. All right, final thoughts for episode 56. Let's start with Paul. Let's start with you.
I'm doing Yuck Yucks on the 21st, which is a long time coming. Jordan, we have a show coming up
finally
next Saturday. Jordan?
Yeah, 17th, right? 17th?
Yeah. So it's Saturday, isn't it? Or Friday?
Yeah.
I thought I was.
Yeah, are you? No, wait. You're the days of 17th because you have another show.
We got changed. Yeah. So
yeah, you got changed.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, I guess the 31st or something.
Yeah,
is what I got changed to. Probably doing some open mics in between. Other than that, it's something I no longer want to talk about with people about Netflix and Amazon and Disney. I'm getting real sick and tired of all the new releases coming out and them being foreign films. Like, I mentioned this as pet peeves before, and
you're not
boy,
wrong.
oh boy, is it ever a pet peeve.
You are not
because
wrong.
I've watched so many of them that like there's got to I'm literally for sure I've watched 96% of the movies on Netflix. The only reason why I haven't watched the other ones that are foreign films or whatever, that it's not even just them. It's like Allegiant and Replicant or whatever the hell those are. Like I don't care for post-apocalyptic sci-fi, those kind of sci-fi movies. They don't interest me. I don't want to watch them. You know, I'm not motivated to. But like, man, I watched the Thomas Tank Engine animated movie the other day. Like,
wow,
just for something new, you know,
oh
variety, right? So, other than that, yeah, I'm just constant mental battles, just a forever endless labyrinth of movie watching. So it's first world problems, right? First world problem, but I feel like I'm living in a third world economy.
Well said, Paul. Well said. Thank you for that, Jordan. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, I know we hit 100 subscribers a while ago, and I said we're gonna get on Spotify, but I've been dealing with some family stuff. So my head's been a little out of things lately. We will be on there soon. I know we'll be working on that, David. I apologize for that.
No worries,
we got shows coming up, obviously. Just follow our Instagram and socials and all that stuff. That's all I can say. I would like everybody else to address me from now on as Birdie on Front 9 2-par. I would appreciate that. Acknowledge my golf excellence.
I acknowledge you, Jordan.
It's about time.
I acknowledge you.
There's nothing more frustrating than the other players who play all the time, and Birdie on Front 9 guy comes out and gets a birdie, and he's like, "This game's easy. Like, I don't know, you're gonna spend how much a year on this, and you go through how much mental anguish? You know, you want to commit suicide how many times after games?"
my friend Jesse, we were playing best ball, and then when I hit this and I got it off that, I'm like, "Oh, look, I hit a good ball for us." He goes, "No, that's your ball. No one else plays that now." And I hit it, and he's like, "I just want to let you know, I've been playing this like 5 years straight, and I only have 4 birdies." And then he just walks away. Like,
the saying, the more you know, the more you know you don't know.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar to like stuff like this, what we're talking about. Like, you don't know all the things you could potentially be doing wrong. You know what I mean? You don't know you haven't made all these mistakes to think you need to correct. So your head isn't filled up with this like monumental set of problems and solutions that you have to worry about when you just swing your club. So that's what you're doing. It's like ignorance is bliss. You're just swinging the club and oh, look at that, cool. Like it's like It's beginner's luck, but it's also like there's something that's good about being a beginner when you don't know how to play and you just do what you know.
Yep.
I went to the tee box. I'm like, I'm just gonna swing, and I swung, and I was like, oh look, yeah. And I think I need to take that lesson, and just forget about this weekend and go into the next weekend with the exact same mindset I had the first time. I'm just gonna swing.
When you play,
100%.
you played 1 game or 2 games this year. Talk to us when you play 20 games, and then tell us I want to see the smile on your face after that. You're gonna be like, yeah, man, it's a hard game. It is hard.
It'll probably be in pet peeves. So I'll be talking.
Exactly.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, we will get weekly updates on Jordan's game. So
yeah, you will.
That'll be good. Awesome. All right, Jordan. Was that your anything else to add?
That's it. Yeah. Well, I want to hear your final thoughts, Dave.
All right, my final thoughts. I will be at Il Vicolo or Vicolo, however you say it, Wednesday night, and then Saturday I'll be at Jordan's show in Gatineau. It's in Gatineau, right?
Yep, Portage Orchard.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And I will end the show by acknowledging Jordan's greatness. Jordan, I acknowledge you.
I'm offended by it, so I'm not going to. It offends me how good he was.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you all next time. Jordan, I acknowledge you.